If you're starting at 25% body fat, the starvation diet that actually works can get you a 15% body fat beach body in 30 days. Do you really know what starvation mode is? No, you don't. Before we move on, let me explain what it is. Starvation mode is a colloquial term, often misunderstood in the fitness and nutrition world. The scientific term for the body's adaptation to prolonged calorie restriction is adaptive thermogenesis or metabolic adaptation. Your body is incredibly intelligent and designed for survival. When calorie intake is significantly and persistently reduced below what is needed for homeostasis, or the body's ability to keep everything in balance, it initiates a series of physiological changes to conserve energy and prolong survival. Here's the general timeline of how the body adapts to a significant calorie deficit, leading to what people refer to as starvation mode. Number 1, you begin your calorie deficit. Within the first 24 to 48 hours, your body uses up the glucose or energy in your bloodstream. It then starts breaking down glycogen, the stored carbohydrates in your liver and muscles. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose or blood sugar. As insulin levels drop, and glucagon levels rise. Glucagon is a hormone that signals glycogen breakdown, but also fat mobilization. Number 2, after 2 to 3 days of glycogen depletion, the body shifts into burning more fat for fuel. This helps spare protein, assuming you're eating enough. The basal metabolic rate, RMR, is the number of calories your body burns at rest, and it may begin to slightly decrease as your body tries to conserve energy. Number 3, after 1 week of significant calorie restriction begins the onset of adaptive thermogenesis. Your body will try to significantly reduce energy expenditure beyond what can be explained through just weight loss. Less fidgeting, lower body temperature, and less NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Hormones like leptin, which signals satiety or fullness, start to decrease, while ghrelin, the hunger hormone, increases, leading to heightened hunger and cravings, and preserving fat stores, which are vital for long-term survival in periods of famine, and may increase breakdown of lean muscle mass to provide amino acids for gluconeogenesis, the conversion of protein to glucose for energy. Number 4, prolonged periods, many weeks to months. As low calories continues, the metabolic slowdown becomes more pronounced, and significant muscle loss can occur, further reducing your resting metabolic rate. Long-term health consequences can develop, including nutrient deficiencies, electrolyte imbalances, weakened immune system, and even organ damage. But no worries, you're just going to ride the edge of starvation with the strategy I'll show you, so you won't suffer any long-term health effects. Having said that, you say you want fat loss and a beach body in 30 days. Time for a reality check. Here's some tough truths about being in a calorie deficit. You will experience hunger. Hunger is part of the process. It's uncomfortable, but you have to learn how to deal with it. Your workouts won't always feel amazing. Low calories equals lower fuel, which is normal. Your effort in the gym matters more than how much you think you should be lifting as per previous to your dieting phase. No supplement can fix a lack of discipline. Not creatine, not athletic greens, not pre-workout. Consistency beats everything. Take action and do the boring stuff daily. Your family and social life might take a back seat for 4 weeks. You'll say no to drinks, treats, and late nights. Fat loss has a cost, but remember, it's not forever. The scale will not always reflect your effort. Water, hormones, stress, sleep all play a role. Don't get discouraged by the scale. It's just feedback. It's just a snapshot in time. A calorie deficit is not a lifestyle that's sustainable. It's just a phase. So remember, this is just 4 weeks. Fat loss isn't meant to be easy, not like fat gain. Now that I've given you some real talk, let's create a significant calorie deficit. Take your body weight and multiply by 10. For example, 180 times 10 equals 1,800 calories per day. This number doesn't change as you lose weight. It remains constant for all 4 weeks. Now take your body weight and multiply by 1.2. This will be your daily protein. For example, 180 times 1.2 equals 216 grams of protein per day. This number doesn't change as you lose weight. It remains constant for all 4 weeks. Now fill in the rest of the calories with carbs and fats. For example, 216 times 4 equals 864 calories from protein. 1800 minus 864 equals 936 calories left. I would do 150 grams of carbs and 37 grams of fat. That would be 600 calories from carbs and 330 calories from fat. You'll have to play with the numbers for yourself at your body weight. I really don't care about the ratios at this point, as long as I'm at or slightly below my daily deficit. All that matters. Calories are most important at this point. Did I forget to mention, you will have to track for 4 weeks. This is non-negotiable, or else it won't work. Try a different diet. Here's 10 foods to put in rotation that are easy to track. Chicken breast, boneless, skinless, turkey, lean, tilapia, canned tuna, whey protein powder, Greek yogurt, frozen spinach, and frozen broccoli. Now that you've created a calorie deficit through your nutrition, you'll add to the deficit with cardio. There's nothing magical about cardio. It's just a way to burn extra calories. You'll perform cardio 6 days per week. You'll do 30 to 60 minutes as your schedule allows. On the days you strength train, you'll do your cardio after strength training. Of course, you could do cardio in the morning and strength train at least 4 hours after. If you do cardio in the morning, it's best to do it fasted when insulin is quiet. This will allow you to tap into stored body fat earlier. Here's 4 modalities you can use for cardio. You want to be in zone 2, 65 to 75% of your max heart rate. That's the sweet spot. Or able to speak in short bursts, but you don't want to carry on a conversation. Number 1, incline treadmill walk. 3 to 4 miles per hour seems to be the sweet spot. Set your incline to a grade of 1, 2, maybe 3 max, but you're going to have to play with that. Number 2, the Stairmaster. Level 4 to 6, for me, seems to be the sweet spot. Number 3, the stationary bike. Keep the resistance low and the RPMs high so you don't burn out after 5 minutes. Number 4, the elliptical, same as the bike. Keep the resistance low, the RPMs high. Here's a tip. You can mix and match machines. For example, start with Stairmaster, then move on to treadmill. Or you can do 15 minutes of all 4 in a row. So where does this fat go when we lose it? With all the cardio you're doing, wouldn't it be nice to know? When you create an energy deficit through a combination of nutrition and exercise, triglycerides contained in the fat cells get released for energy. As you move around and breathe, many chemical reactions take place. The presence of oxygen breaks down these triglycerides, converting them into carbon dioxide and water. 84% of the fat gets breathed out as carbon dioxide. 16% of it gets out through sweat, urine, and stool. But it's important to note, while fat cells shrink during the process, they are not eliminated. This is why if you are not living the life year-round, when you fall off on your nutrition and exercise, you allow fat cells to re-expand and get bigger, which leads to strength training. You want a beach-ready physique in 30 days. Good news, there will not be any direct leg training. Wear your long board shorts, cover them up. You will strength train 3 times a week. You'll do 3 to 4 work sets for chest, shoulders, and arms, and finish with 2 by 20 reps of ab work. You can do the basic floor crunch. That's it. Keep it simple and don't overthink it. Next, let's cover your daily step count. Don't neglect steps because they are that powerful. Get a minimum of 6 to 8K steps per day, with the goal being 10K steps per day. Yes, that's a lot of movement in addition to all that cardio. I recommend you put your step count around as soon as you get out of bed. Attach it to your underwear if you have to. Keeping your step count high during this fat loss phase is really crucial. Here's another strategy you may want to consider. If you can't do cardio or strength until later in the day, that's fine. Boost fat oxidation by pushing your first meal back. I usually try to eat my first meal sometime around 11 or 12. Sometimes I even push it back to 5, but that's a different video. Low blood glucose due to low insulin will help boost fat oxidation with the steps you get in before that first meal. Walking is low-hanging fruit in terms of burning calories, and it has no real impact on your CNS or central nervous system. Therefore, early steps keep your mind sharp. What about day 7? I didn't forget day 7. Remember, after 1 week of low calories begins the onset of adaptive thermogenesis. Technically, you've put yourself in starvation mode, but you can mitigate that. On day 7, you will not count calories, you will not count steps, you will not do cardio or strength train. No extra activity beyond what you absolutely have to do for that day. If you can take a power nap, do it. Get to bed early that night, even if you have to force yourself. Stay in bed 8 hours, whether you have to sleep or not. This is one time where I'll tell you to just doom scroll if you have to. just as long as you're in bed, resting and off your feet. Your gas tank is empty and it's time to refuel before the car breaks down. After 1 week of tracking, you should start to develop a good handle on portion sizes. On day 7, don't worry about protein. Get the minimum 100 grams. That's all you're going to need on this day, and that's fine. Keep dietary fats low because carbs are going to be high. There's no cheat meal, there's no treats, there's no alcohol, there is none of that. You're going to refuel with the clean carbs that you have been eating days 1 through 6. Eat as much as you're hungry for, just don't stuff yourself. Be mindful. Let your body tell you when it's had enough and it's refueling. You have to eat until you're satisfied. Find that spot where you know you're going over the edge, or else you're going to screw up day 7. Yes, you will wake up heavier the next day. That's nothing to fear, as your muscles will be full of glycogen because you've refueled. Over the next few days, you're going to lose that water. Day 7 also serves to give you a mental break. By not tracking steps, by not tracking your macros and food, it gives your brain a little bit of a rest, and it resets your hormones. Repeat day 7 for all 4 weeks. I'll tell you what to do after 4 weeks coming up. But how will you know if you're losing body fat? You'll lose fat from the top down. First, your face and neck will lean out. Next, you're going to see noticeable definition in your chest, shoulders, and arms. And finally, by the end of 4 weeks, you should be able to see at least a nice outline of your abs. Power tip: after 4 weeks, the kids are out of school, there's going to be pool parties, there's going to be that beach vacation that you want to take your family on, you'll be ready. So after those 4 weeks, now you want to take your calories back to maintenance. For example, if you lost 10 pounds, so say 180 minus 10 would be 170 pounds, you're going to multiply that by 13, and that equals 2,210 calories. You may have to track for a week until you get the hang of where your maintenance calories should be. At this point, cut back your training to just 3 times per week. Do your strength, and then follow it up with some cardio. 30 minutes should be fine. And then just ride this out for the rest of the summer up until the fall. After that, the choice is yours. Clearly, the best way to lose body fat is not to accumulate it in the first place. But I know that is easier said than done. But if you do get to 15% body fat, I want you to watch this video next so you can see why testosterone explodes and you can start to build some real muscle. Thanks so much for watching.